Hi everyone, it's Alicia here. I'm going to be presenting my Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion DEI PowerPoint. I am interested in using the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Matrix in my work, but I have yet to do so. But just to tell you a little bit about where I'm currently working, I work at a progressive K through 8 school in District 3 where we celebrate and acknowledge diversity and inclusion as our core values. We have culturally responsive curriculum and we have a variety of partnerships that help us get towards that. I would love to use the matrix to evaluate and deepen our practices. I put here our philosophy, which is that children learn by doing, children learn at different rates, using different strengths, and have different learning styles. Children learn about the world in an integrated way, and children learn when they feel good about themselves. Children learn when their parents are active participants in their school. The first competency that I looked at was understanding implicit bias. I believe that it's important to utilize the implicit association tests in order to have our staff identify and decipher their own personal biases. I think it's important as a community that we have workshops for them to think about their biases. And we also have student assessments, especially for our 6 through 8 students. I think it's important that for all of our K through 8 that we incorporate more bias and awareness into our SEL programs, such as our advisory and morning meetings. I put here an example of implicit bias that our staff could attend through reworks with the Department of Education. The second competency I looked at was cultural competence. And for this, I thought that we already have a rich art curriculum. We should now include some cultural richness to that curriculum. We should provide more opportunities for us to celebrate the cultural, have like a multicultural day where students and family can engage, and it aligns with the whole school's mission and vision. I also thought that when we have our student-led conferences, but maybe we can have student-led projects where we can have more cross-cultural understandings infused. For the third competency that I focused on, I looked at youth development. Right now, we have many, many partnerships, such as Inside Broadway and NYC Sunworks. We have leadership opportunities where we have student delegates for each grade, but not a student council. That may be something that we want to try to take it up the next level. We also have advisory, but we may want to consider revamping it to have social emotional learning, well-beings, and life skills in advisory. So we really can foster that holistic, well-rounded youth development. We have a restorative justice actions team this year, first year of it. We also are beginning to look at peer mediation programs. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about our restorative justice action team. Right now, they work alongside our guidance counselors, and it's composed of teachers, administrators, and then the student component is the peer mediation, where we want to really have our students think about ways that they can take accountability and responsibility for their actions, where we can have a culture where it's okay to have a restorative conversation, mediation in a circle, where we want to really reduce our discipline actions that we take. We enter a lot of reports and orders, but we want to find other ways to really improve and strengthen relationships in our community while team building. To promote this, we want to incorporate more reflective exercises for our staff. This can be done in various ways, in team meetings, through professional development learning. We can also incorporate evaluating our cultural practices that we have within our curriculum by using the 2023 scorecard by NYU, which I put a link to in the resources within the footnotes. And here it talks about if the curriculum is culturally destructive, if it's culturally insignificant, if there's emerging awareness, are we culturally aware, and are we at that level of cultural responsiveness? It really looks at gender, ability, and language. And we also have where I put in the CRSE framework, which every school should take a look if they want to have diverse voices. We also want to talk about the school-wide implementation. This can be done through regular, ongoing professional development. So not just have one, but have multiple throughout the year. We should revisit our school-wide policies and practices. We should bring families into this DEI work and initiative. And most importantly, we should monitor and assess the matrix to see if it's really being effectively utilized within our community. There are also going to be some challenges, like with anything. There may be some resistance. We may have some unconscious bias that has to take some work for us to get through. And we also may have limited resources. We're at a point where we don't have as a lot of money, but we can find ways to gain money and partnerships that can support that. One example would be working with the Office of Youth Development to see if they can provide trainings for our staff for free. Being a school that is a DEI school, and to be more aware as a community, not only should we have culturally responsive practices, but we should think about what does that look like in terms of our school as a community, our leadership, the educators we have within our community, and in terms of pedagogy and our teaching practices. We want to make sure we continue to leverage those partnerships and resources that we have. We have those trainings and workshops, not only for the staff, but also maybe the parents, and that we have more open and transparent conversations with each other. Thank you so much.